Hi, I hope you can hear me decently. Let me just check. Yes, I didn't connect my headphones, so be more lazy than usual because today, instead of discussing some topic and sharing some reflection, I want to show you some running code, so a live demo. Hopefully, we will see something crash because we all know that we love to see demo crashing and the presenter being embarrassed. So let's see if we are lucky today. And today, I would like to show some work that we have recently done with the LionWeb Repository Admin Panel. Maybe let's talk in more showing. So let's see. Okay, so here, let's put it here on a side for a moment. So later I can retrieve it. So I can connect to the LionWeb repository, so a repository where we can store LionWeb models, retrieve them, of course. So the starting point is this, is the list of repository. Here, I could create a repository, activating history or not, picking a version of not, and then I can take some data, and this data has been loaded. It's been loaded too fast, so the window disappeared immediately. Not the best presentation, but sometimes too fast is okay. Here I have a model that is slightly bigger. So let's see here. You see, it's lower, so we can see the progress bar. So it's a demo mostly about progress bars. No, it's too slow. It's very hard to find something that is find the right balance between being slow and fast. Okay, but we've loaded some data. Now, of course, we could also download these if we wanted, and we can look into this. So we can see the different partition. The partition are basically the entry in my repository. And here the terminology, I would say, is not great because we call repository the entire instance of our server, but we also call repositories each of, let's say, the project within a repository instance. So we can find them here. So I have loaded some files. We can take a look at one of them, for example, this one, and I can expand all of them. And I can also navigate them by type. So in this case, this is a model representing a language. So I could look to the concepts that are defined, like this one, or to the properties. And the properties are defined within a certain concept. So we can see from the qualified name that this is a message within issue. And so I can navigate to this. I can switch to another partition if I want to. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, some of them contain multiple languages. Like this is an example of a model obtained from processing a CL file. Think of CL as bash for the AS400. And now the AS400 people will kill me, but hopefully you're not one of them, or you don't know where I am, so you cannot harm me physically. And then, and this is the latest addition, we have also Python Playground. And sometimes it loads, sometimes it doesn't, but let's say this is part of a scenic effect, because what is going on is actually quite a lot. But let's see if this code runs. And yes, I can generate a graph now. What are we looking at? We are looking at the possibility of writing Python code to query our repository, get the information, and use it to do something, for example, to generate this quite horrible graph. There are a couple of interesting things here because we have an interpreter for Python that runs within the browser. So yes, these are the times we are living, crazy stuff. So this is pretty powerful because we have the full power of Python at our disposal, and so we can create some scripts and reuse any of this library. And for example, once we load the page, at that time, we are actually downloading the module LionWeb Python from PyPy itself. So, on loading the page, quite a lot of things happen. So that's, I think, it's quite interesting and something that a few years ago wouldn't be possible because that is powered by WebAssembly. Now, there are some improvements to be made because here, while we have syntax writing, we have no error checking and we have not autocompletion. And performing error checking and autocompletion for Python, given its dynamic nature, it's not trivial, and performing that in the browser is less trivial again. So there is some work to do. But what this demonstrates, I think, is that once we create some models, some information, we export it to LionWeb, then we can consume it in different interesting ways. One of these ways is by using Python, for example, connecting to the repository, get the information, and then do some elaboration. Of course, this terrible diagram is just a trivial example of what we could do, but we can generate reports. We can also modify the information stored in the repository because right now I'm calling the method list partition, and then I'm calling the method list repositories, but I have also methods to actually modify the nodes or even create a new repository if I want to. So there is quite a lot that we can do. And so by using LionWeb, we make the information we produce more accessible from Python, accessible from other tools compatible with the LionWeb ecosystem. And so, yeah, I wanted to show some running code because, while now half of my job is talking, I spend the other half actually in writing code. And from time to time, I want to share it with you. So thank you. And as usual, if you have any feedback, comments, or anything to share, I'm always happy to hear it. So send me a message, add a comment, or reach me out in some other ways. Thank you, and have a great day.